Okay, that sounds a little better. Hopefully that just fixed it. And it seems like my mic is now picking up much better than it used to. So let's fill in some of that background, some more of that music, and hopefully that's a decent balance. How does that sound? I definitely need to learn how to use the program a little better. I'm back, and hopefully this is working well. It appears that I have sound. Hopefully it's not awful sound. Bit loud now. I almost always have the exact opposite problem. Alright, well let's see how far I have to turn it down before I start getting below all that. Okay. How is that? How is that, Chewy? Good. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. Um, and Shropshire, who kind of poked his head. I completely understand that. Hopefully you had a good stream. Some of y'all might notice a few different things about the way I'm drawing. I'm using a red pen now. The reason for that is I can separate the red, the blue, and the black when it comes to processing the image in Clip Studio. So I can take, yep, yes we do. I've been growing it out so that the little bit of hair that I have in the back will protect my the back of my neck a little bit more sun. My job involves me being in the sun a lot more than it used to now. So now that I'm no longer a disembodied set of hands, I don't actually have anything I was going to say along with that. Definitely make sure I bash my microphone with my hand as often as possible. Don't want to forget about up here. Hmm. And that's pretty much what I do. I just kind of, run from section to section, and I may need to video capture that. Video. Oh. Okay, so it's not changing focus. I thought for a moment it was. And I think that is good for now. So we're going to take that. This up here. The other one. Brings back and take a look. Yeah, it's starting to match up pretty well, I think. And I have number 3. The way this is set up is this now just kind of sits right underneath, and I don't have any connecting textures with number 3. So I have connecting textures with 2, 3, and 4, but we'll have to work on that. Let's just turn the monitor more. I'm sitting back and leaning forward here a little bit. So probably just messed it all up. It's probably perfect. So, as I make more mistakes, we're going to keep it. So put away the red pen. We're going to come over to my black pen. Start thinking about, so I want this to be rocky over here. So it was more dirt and rock. I want this whole cliff face thing to be kind of a rocky cliff face. So the bottom's going to be a little different. I think it's going to be kind of nice. Okay. And I know about where that's going to go. Give myself a starting point. Starting point. So here and there. That way I can connect them. It's a little easier when I come back into it. Monster. Great with the rubble down here. I'll make sure that I'm doing primarily the rubble that's sitting on top first. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. At least that's the idea. Hopefully, it looks like a landslide. That you kind of just pulled that out of the air is just is encouraging. Because to me, that's the definition of a good map. Go. These things over here. This song really has some of the Expanse vibes. Which one is this one? Before the Storm. Okay. If you're wondering what the time frame we're in modern day post-apocalyptic, this is just sort of generic. Is the idea for it, and the idea is that I have a forest. I have a swamp already. I have a desert. I'm gonna work on a mountainous one. I've got a couple of them, and I have sort of like a rustic fantasy cabin, and a sort of a modern cabin, and sort of a sci-fi cabin. And so I'm creating these backgrounds to put this cabin in. So it's a cabin in the woods, a cabin in the swamp, and some of that's because when I'm doing a game, and part of the game calls for having a cabin involved in it, I only have like one, and I don't like just having one. Mm-hmm. Having that, want to have that versatility. And I figured it's an interesting way to get a bunch of new map packs out there and released and stuff like that. And it kind of helps to have that of direction with what you're doing. Hmm, that would be actually really cool. Oh, a rock on top of a rock. Oh, that's actually a really cool idea. I like that one a lot. Let's do there. There we go. Little row event bits in there. And I think I'm kind of getting there. I'm gonna put another one like right here. I'm gonna have Swoopy Doo with the dirt. Alright. So I'll come down here to my blue pen. Not because it's blue, it's still black ink. There's a firmer one. Because you get a little harsh. Some of my stuff. Make it a little easier on myself. Because my body's trying to move quickly. I want to break that up with a rock. There we go, have a rock on top of that. More debris all over the place. Alright. I think that price against whose map I used for the base. I'd be incredibly flattered if you used one of mine. You know what? Nope, I will do that in the red pen. So, time to bring out the detailer. I'm going to turn this towards me a little bit. And start working on some details. There we go. It gives me a sort of a rocky pass. Alright. That's a little too much.
On everything, choice.
Yeah, we're gonna add pirates. New Orleans Noir. Like that one. Storm at Sea. Cool. There we go. Hi, Sushimi. I'm doing well, thank you very much. I'm doing a quad map today. It's a very... It's not, the stream was would be longer, but I had some mic issues, but it's really nice to see you. Thank you for joining the chat. I don't like how that came out. Not that, not that. I don't like how that came out. It's okay. Don't forget. Shading, let's see that. It's okay. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Well, since a scale, for me, go ahead. I'll do this in blue since do that. I can call you Sushi. I will happily call you Sushi. I draw at half scale, so that would be a 5-foot square. So that would be a very big cow, or a small dragon, or whatever it happens to be. And let's just drop everything on the ground and break the lid. Okay, well, let's see if I broke my pencil and not just the lid. I don't know if I just broke the pencil or if I just broke the lid. Okay. Well, apparently I was either done or out. Yeah. I am using 2mm lead holders and pencils. Let's see if that is just a break off. Yep, it's just broken off. I do have spares. I do not like having to use my spares. Yes, so there we go. Keep that drawer open in the kitchen. This is a little tighter. Feels like I'm way back. Where was I? Australia. Guess that I knew the poison's origins. You know that Australia is mostly criminals. Criminals are not trusted by each other, just like you were not trusted to me. Therefore, I can clearly not choose the wine in front of me. And for those of you who don't know where the music is coming from, this is from Tabletop Audio. If you're not familiar with them, you really should be. They are amazing. They most of the audio that I use for my games when I run them is via them. You can download them download the songs, and as long as the videos that you're streaming with are not monetized, you can use them. And as we all know, I make money off of selling maps, somewhat, not off of streaming. And when I say somewhat, all of the maps that I draw go on DriveThruRPG, and they all pay what you want. So 100% go get the maps for free. It's meant to be a resource. There we go. I'm kind of digging that. This song has got a big time Enya vibe to it. Is that just me? Oh, nice. Sometimes I've started an interest in map design after one of my school assignments had us create an overworld sort of map. It is. For me, it used to be stressful when I started. And a lot of that was stress of my own making. Because I do not consider myself much of an artist. I'm a weirdo with pens. And I was always really worried that my players would hate the maps that I was starting to draw. And I found out that that was just massively incorrect. That they loved them. I'll put this back at the perspective that it's going to be when we're finished. And it took me a little while to get to the point where I could relax while doing this. Having music in the background helps. Oh, I like that one. That one came out really nice. Oh, nice. Do you run/play D&D or other systems? I tend to play Powered by the Apocalypse games more often. I actually haven't run D&D since first edition. And there's a reason for that. It's called the Tomb of Horrors. I started playing D&D I think when I was like 7 or 8. Because my brother, I think it would have been closer to 8, because my brother had just turned 10, I think. And the Satanic Panic was going on, and my parents got my brother the D&D books because, if I remember correctly, there was some outcry at the school about not letting your children play D&D, and my parents are like, if these people are so against it, then it must be good for them. So they got my brother the books, and we'd play D&D a lot. And then we discovered GURPS. And people talk about GURPS. There's a lot of math. It's not very complicated math, but there is a lot of it involved. But the biggest thing with GURPS was it was so simple comparatively. Even as complex as it is now, it was very simple compared to first edition, which bin bars and left gates, and speed factor and the hit matrix. And all of those things. And GURPS, like one turn is 1 second. You get one action. The weapon that you didn't affect how often you could act. You had to roll below your skill. People got a chance to parry, so there was active defenses. Your armor made passively harder to damage and harder to hit. And so I played Savage Worlds played GURPS for quite a while, getting off track on that, and then took a couple of years off of playing tabletop games, about 15 years or so, maybe closer to 20. Not for any particular reason. I didn't have a bunch of bad experiences. Just kind of got out of college and just didn't have enough time to invest in it. And in college, I played a lot of Vampire the Masquerade storytelling system, which I liked a lot. I kind of fell in love with simplistic dice mechanics. Most recently, I've been a solo gamer with D100 Dungeon outside of my weekly Monster Hearts 2 group. Oh, nice. I never ran D&D, but I played in maybe 2 campaigns. It was 3.5 groups. I like GURPS a lot. GURPS is very, very number crunchy, though. So if you like a system with a lot of meat and crunch to it, then GURPS is a real good call for that. And so I was playing, and I introduced a bunch of my previous group to GURPS by simply lording Star Wars over them. Played a lot of Vampire the Masquerade 5e. Had to step out for mental health. I haven't played 5e. I played sort of the original. It was really, really, really good. The way we ran it was really, really good. There were some people that got very very not healthy with it. But people do that with anything that provides them with a sense of joy. And this one has some cactuses and some flowering plants here and there. Tilt this up a little bit. There we go. So there's some, not a whole lot. This is going to be mostly barren. Alright, come on. Put this way. And after playing GURPS with a bunch of people that really had never played anything other than D&D, it did slowly over time get a little frustrating having to remind them how to play the game. So I decided that I wanted to play something simpler. And I decided on Savage Worlds. In the running was going back to doing OpenD6, because the D6 system was really good. And I kind of just really love what they did with it, and how just because it was West End Games was going out of business and stuff like that, they just kind of put their stuff out there for free so people can use it and enjoy it. So I started playing, started running Savage Worlds, and I haven't looked back since. Well, I have been tempted to do a Twitch Plays Open D6 game, because the way Twitch handles dice would not work very well in Savage Worlds with exploding dice and aces and pennies and stuff like that. And I kind of like the idea of introducing people to how awesome that Open D6 system is. The reason why the Star Wars RPG did so well, and one of the reasons why Star Wars kind of as a brand survived so well, was because of the support that it had through the tabletop gaming community. I mean, so if I was running like a, and I think it'll, let's see, roll like 3d6. I think that, yep. So, it would work quite well with it. And the idea that I have would be running Legends. D6 Legends is a real good system. They pretty much created the whole no, they didn't. I don't think they I'm not gonna claim that they created the whole dice pool mechanic, but they really gave it some teeth. Gave it some really good work behind it. Although the Magic system is just way too complicated for what I want to run at the table. Or if you want to run a game that's has a very much a make it powerful and mystical and based on a lot of player creativity, OpenD6 has got a Magic system that's on par with like Ars Magica and like Mage and stuff like that. But I think like D6 Legends would work really well because of how that system worked. So if I called for a roll, everybody would roll 1d6, and anything that's over a 4, anything that's a 4 or higher is counted as a success, and then you'd count up your successes. very similar to what would become the storytelling system from White Wolf. All right, and I think that gives me a pretty good basis. I'm gonna have to get pretty big and involved in this one. Let's pull back a little bit and take a look at what we've got so far. All right. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to put this one off to the side, or I can still look at it and reference it. But we're going back to the black pen. And we'll see what we can do. Here we go. Thank you. I'm very glad it's coming out nice. Sometimes I worry about my movies coming out, the ideas that I have working. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just, I just go with it. And what happens, happens.
Oh, it's so good. Oh.
I'm way off over here on the side, so let's bring that over just a little bit. So. Alright, and I'll bring this right back where it was. And I want to have a different kind of thing over here. I want to have like a little spiny bush. There we go. A cactus, like I have been doing. something with spines on it. That was get a little too it's a little too rough at one end. Take a breath. I think for a lot of it, I get pretty lucky as far as like composition goes, because for the most part, I don't really think about like the composition of something. I'm not thinking about like the rule of thirds or how things are balancing out. I do, however, need to think about how these outer things need to be thicker because they are a foreground element. Means I need to go back and those are the only ones those are the only overhangs I've got so far, I think. So I got something here. Nope, just them. That's it. I haven't done a lot of overhangs on this. By making this thicker and darker line, makes it more obvious where the elevation is. Cactus right in there. Some more debris right over here. Give it a general sort of. There we go. The reason for all of this is so I want to color it. Black lines separate colors, red lines do not. And those are closed or close to closed. That's awful. That'll be fine. And agree. Bottom of the cliff. Taper off. we go. Side. Oh my god. Like puddles of dirt. Toss some more cool things in here, huh? I've heard that one a couple times. There we go. Just add a couple things. Croucher, it was great to see you too. Thank you so much for coming in. Hopefully I helped with your post-stream recovery.
Sure.
I'm gonna turn this towards myself a little bit more so I can see a little easier. Oh, just a second. And I've been muted this whole time, as I'm about to mute myself again and go take care of my cat. Give me just a moment. And I'm back again. I'm back again. Even though the last time I came back, I'm talking the entire time, and I keep forgetting that I'm muted. So, we'll have to get a little better at that. Rocky cliff face. when I used to draw these clip faces out, I used to be very particular about, well, there's 3 lines in this one, therefore it's 15 feet off the ground. There's 4 lines in that one, it's 20 feet. That one doesn't have a line, so it's only a 5-foot cliff. And now I just do things. Food will be here in about 15 minutes or so. I'll probably be wrapping up around. Which means I'll probably finish the rest of this off stream. And it'll be probably a couple days before this one's posted. And I haven't put that up, and I need to get better at that. And I need to be on the right window. So if you like what you see, you want to help support what it is that I'm doing, and you want me to do more of it, a couple of easy ways to do it is, one is go to DriveThruRPG and buy some maps, and I'm all over the place with these to you today. Let's get this in perspective. It's going to be viewed at before I start adding shading models and stuff to it. But all of the maps that you see me draw on stream, pretty much all of the maps that I do in general, go on to drivethrurpg.com, hit what you want. And I started doing that as a result of the pandemic. So I started out and I was actually selling them for a very short amount of time. And I figured that people were going to be out of work because of this pandemic, so they wouldn't have very much money. And they'd be at home all the time without a whole lot of things to do or people to connect to, so they would need distraction and stuff like that. So I figured, hey, I could be a good person and just put these maps out there for pay what you want, and let people contribute whatever they feel like, whatever they think that they can, or whatever they think they're worth. And I just kind of liked doing it that way. So I don't have any plans on changing that. I plan on continuing to have maps always available for free and always available for pay what you want. When people message me and tell me that they feel bad when they don't pay for them, and I'll tell you the same thing I tell them. That's the purpose of these maps is to be enjoyed. And I will, on the regular, get bored and say, hey, I'm going to draw a map, and I don't think I'm going to do anything with it, so I'm just going to send it to Shropshire and let him, do all kinds of crazy things with it. There we go. Some little details in there. But hopefully you find the stream relaxing and enjoyable. Music is care of Tabletop Audio. If you're looking for music to put in your games, I recommend them highly. Not sponsored, I just happen to think they do awesome stuff. If you have any questions about the things that I'm doing or why I do things the way I do, feel free. But please bear in mind, you are under absolutely no obligation to interact with me in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I have to look over there to see what the chat is doing. And I do it periodically, because I have been improving. And I even checked to see if my microphone is working, which it appears to be. For instance, I use a red pen because I can separate that once I scan it digitally. And all of the shading details I can have not interfere with putting color on top of it. Ooh, that's a dramatic music change. I'm digging it. Which one is this? Which one's this? I like this one. Pirates. Arr. Well, let's talk about some other things. Been doing some world creation. And hopefully that didn't just mess up everything. Just turn the music down. It's a little loud in my ears. It looks like it's a little loud in the chat too. So come down just a hair with it. Balance things out just a little bit more. Hopefully that's a better mix. And if it's not, hopefully somebody will tell me. But what was I saying? Oh, world creation. So if you don't know who Shropshire GM is, Shropshire DM, you should check them out sometime. Oh, no. Anyway, he was running a stream, and they were talking about shops and stuff that they had in like a city sort of like in the Plane of the Dead, I think is the term. And I have a Western campaign that I was building. It was set in the Land of the Dead. And as we were in chat, making things as complicated on Joel as we possibly could, I started, thinking about, hey, that Western setting I have would be really cool as like a 1930s like a pulp noir set just in a city, not not trying to figure out the environment or the grasslands or stuff like that. Just just generally like in a city with like mobsters, you Maltese Falcon style of Pope Noir, Dark City, that kind of stuff. I thought that would be just like a really cool sort of like blend for that. And so yeah, the next campaign I'm doing is set in the City of the Dead. It's modeled after kind of 1930s Chicago, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun and very cool. All right, I'll turn this way so. Well, one of these days I'll start putting some of these settings that I've created or come up with or whatever, put them online for people to use and enjoy. Unlike some people, though, I am not really a writer, so I'm also not a very good actor either, so you don't have to be to have fun doing tabletop games. Oh, that's dramatic. I'm kind of digging that. Alright. I think this area is starting to look pretty good. I'm gonna throw just some stuff up there. Little partial circles, that's a lot in there. And there's my phone, because I do not remember to mute things. Cross-hatching's getting sloppier and sloppier as I'm going. It's okay. I have given myself permission to make mistakes, and lots of mistakes. Kind of an important thing to do when you're drawing. You gotta make a lot of mistakes when you draw. You know, some people say that there are no such thing as mistakes. I disagree. Mistakes happen. They're just kind of a natural part of and kind of a natural part of just life and experimentation and doing that kind of stuff. Get there. There's always more debris. Lift up this entire section. Alright, so let's come here, this down, see what I've got. That's a sharp turn there. I think that's looking pretty good. Alright. Let's put this back. And, yeah. I think that's looking pretty good. So, since Sue's going to be here soon, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. one more page to do for this map. Yes, this is a this map is a 5-pager. That's going to be just this very large pile of rocks right here in the middle. But I'm going to have to try to fill up this whole page with rocks and debris. And it's all coming into these angles. And I know I said I'm not doing very good. Yeah. Spiny bits here. Another rock. A pile. And that's going to be the next one that I'm doing, the 5th portion of this map. Kind of wrap everything up. And, what I'll have is this thing right here in the middle. With all this going around about it, I think this would be really kind of nice. And I think I'm going to do this as impassable terrain. The lines and stuff on it. Or I just might do this just a big old rock. Could do it either one. Lots of different options. Well, anyways, it's absolutely wonderful. See ya. Thank you for joining me. Have fun, be safe, and happy.